From Central Florida's newsroom, it is time to get up to speed with what has been going down.
Streaming live on iHeartRadio.
This is the News Junkie. Sean Watson. Sean Watson.
Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. An email from Ryan, and he says, "Hi, Sean. My name is Ryan. I heard a dispatch today with a guy joking about you being adopted. Take it from me, nothing is what it seems." He says, I guess he just learned some of this. I've been living a lie for 30 years. I discovered that my father is not my biological father. Technically, I've been catfished my entire life. My mother went around telling the family they sat me down years ago and explained everything to me. She told them to never bring it up because I don't like talking about it. Well, the skeletons have finally fallen out of the closet. I spoke to members of the family who have repeatedly apologized and told me, we thought you knew. So he's saying that he found out he was adopted. When I think about that, I think about asking yourself one question. Did my parents do a good job raising me? Because the biological side of this, that's just a mystery on the side. And the reality of it is, if you think, yeah, my mom, my dad, the people who told me they were my mom and my dad did a great job, then the rest of it doesn't matter that much. He says, since discovering all this out, me and my fiance have welcomed a beautiful baby girl into the world. We feel medically wise, we need to know who my biological father is. I get that. Like different things that fall in the bloodline, could be risks medically. That makes sense. My family, he puts in quotes, is not being cooperative. I've not spoken to nor seen my parents during the last 2 years. God, would you go this far if you found out that you were adopted?
I don't know. A part of me wants to say yes, I would.
Like you would feel betrayed?
Not so much betrayed. It really depends on how it goes. I mean, I've shared the story before. My best friend growing up in high school found out she was adopted because of the science class. Mm-hmm. And I know her parents very well, and it totally makes sense why they waited so long.
Yeah.
It's all situational, I suppose.
Yeah, I think you have two choices when you adopt somebody. You either tell them immediately, and even when they're young, it just kind of becomes built into them, and they don't really care that much. Or you got to wait until this weird older age to tell them. And just breaking up with your family. I mean, that's kind of what you're saying you've done. If you haven't talked to your parents in the last 2 years, it all comes down to, did they do a good job? Not what did they keep from you. They refuse to give me any information. My grandmother swears she was kept out of it, knows nothing but others say differently. Apparently, nobody knows who he is.
Oh, okay.
The only thing they tell me is that it was a closed adoption. He wanted nothing to do with me. He's just a sperm donor. So I started doing some research and began digging into what seems to be a frightening past. Maybe some things should be left buried. Yeah, I would say so. Sometimes you think, I'm going to figure this all out, and then it's not what you thought it would be. Mm-mm. I've seen too many documentaries where somebody tries to find their parents, and they'll find like their father went missing when they were young, and it's a quest to go find your dad. I don't know what you're expecting, but a lot of times they find that dad, and they go, wow, my biological dad is a loser.
Yeah.
This totally makes sense that you wanted to get some extra cash by masturbating in an office setting.
Right, and he doesn't even know. This person doesn't even know what happened.
I mean, a lot of times people will find the biological parents and realize, and I hope this doesn't happen for this person emailing in, but it's definitely the tone is set right now that if you find your biological parents or your biological dad and he is a loser, what does that say to how you've treated your adopted parents who raised you, who chose you,
who were trying to protect you from this person that may have sucked
for the last 2 years?
I discovered that my mother was previously married, which she also kept hidden from her children and friends. That's the same thing that happened to me growing up. My grandmother was also remarried. I guess it runs in the family. It sounds bitter about this.
A little bit.
My father is either her first husband or a mystery man that she was involved with during her divorce before she met my now known as stepfather. It goes on and on. 2 months ago, I located her ex-husband. What he has revealed to me is beyond earth-shattering. I've obtained DNA samples, which I'll be mailing off in the coming days. And my mother, my family, they have no idea that I've met this guy who may be my real father, my biological father. So he's looking to do it. He sent the information off. He says, hope to hear from you shortly from Ryan.
When you said that's the same thing happened to you, is that an aside? Did that happen to you?
Yeah, well, no. My mom was married. I told you when I was about 12 or 13, my sister ran away from home, maybe even younger than that. And when the police came over, they started talking about my sister, and the police officer right in front of me said, this is your biological child? And then my dad had to say no.
Oh.
And then I was like, oh, what? And I started to slowly learn my mom was married to some guy previously.
That's super weird, and I think as the time goes on, it's harder and harder to hide stuff like that because of how easily accessible information over the internet is. Like, there's stuff that I just, for giggles, have Googled about my family and found out, oh, I didn't know so and so got Baker acted once. That's weird, you know. So it's almost like you don't want to because you could find out something like that.
I wouldn't.
But I mean, I've just typed all the names I know into the search thing and found like divorce records.
More often
records.
than not, you're gonna find something that you don't necessarily want to learn. Would you have done it this way if that was you, Sabrina? Or you think it all really, I guess, depends on what your family was like growing up, whether you would even want to reach out this far.
Exactly. I think when it comes to having kids, then you do need to know a little bit of background and medical history, but I could tell he's a little bit bitter.
Sounds
and
like it.
It would have been nice to know some things beforehand, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's something about not being in the know for so long. When you feel like everybody's lied to me. You know, this person who I thought was my dad is not my biological dad, and everybody else knew. I was the only person who didn't know. And the only time that's okay is when it's a surprise birthday party. Otherwise, you don't want to be the only one that doesn't know. And probably a feeling of betrayal there after all this stuff happens. But watch where you're digging. Sometimes you make more of a mess than you anticipated, and things become a bit muddier, but good luck out there. Okay, tell us what happens. I'm interested to hear what happens, what you learned, and what happens with the DNA test itself.